Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today we're going to dive into some George Carlin where he's talking about if we have rights or we don't have rights. So, George Carlin is a precious stone. So let's see what he got to say today.
There's one more item for you, the last in our civics book, rights. Boy, everyone in this country's always running around yammering about their fucking rights. I have a right, you have no right, we have a right, they don't have a right. Folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay?
Well, on that point, he is right.
Right, folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? They're imaginary. We made them up, like the boogeyman. The Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, Mother Goose, shit like that. Rights are an idea. They're just imaginary. They're a cute idea. Cute. But that's all. Cute and fictional. But if you think you do have rights, let me ask you this. Where do they come from? People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck, here we go again. Here we go again. The God excuse, the last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God.
Once they say that, it's like, okay, you can't ask no more questions after that. We just said God. That's the top tier, top G. Don't ask no more questions. Yeah, he's funny for that.
God excuse, the last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God. Anything we can't describe must have come from God. Personally, folks, I believe that if your rights came from God, he would have given you the right to some food every day, and he would have given you the right to a roof over your head. God would have been looking out for you. God would have been looking out for you.
That's a fact. I know there's a God, but he makes sense, though. Let's bring it back.
Out for you. God would have been looking out for you. You know that? He would have been worried about making sure you have a gun so you get drunk on Sunday night and kill your girlfriend's parents. But let's say it's true. Let's say God gave us these rights. Why would he give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, okay? 10 rights. And apparently God was doing sloppy work that week because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times.
Yo, he's not playing. Like, they keep changing these things, and it's like, they keep going back on their word, and I don't get it sometimes, man.
We've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. So God forgot a couple of things, like slavery. Just fucking slipped his mind. But let's say God gave us the original 10. He gave the British 13. The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25.
I bet you a lot of people didn't even know that right there. You see, like George Carlin, he's on point. He's super on point. Even though he's a comedian, man, he's a truth teller. And we don't have too many people like that nowadays. Let's bring it back.
The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25. The Swedish have only 6. And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn...
Oh, man. Yo, when he says some people don't have no rights at all, he is not playing. I mean, all you got to do is put on the TV and look around and just go outside in the world. You'll see it. You'll see it for yourself. He is not playing with that.
And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn God-given deal is that? No rights at all? Why would God give different people in different countries different numbers of different rights? Boredom? Amusement? Bad arithmetic? Do we find out at long last, after all this time, that God is weak in math skills? Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like human planning. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in America. Now, if you think you do have rights, one last assignment for you. Next time you're at the computer, get on the internet, go to Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, in the search field for Wikipedia, I want you to type in Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights.
All right, now, you heard him, right? I need all of y'all to go on Google and do your homework and your research. Like I said, man, he's not just a comedian. Like, I want to laugh at certain of these things, but I feel like doing the research at the same time. I mean, sheesh, this is real right here.
Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights, okay? All right. You know about it. You know about it. Yeah. In 1942, there were 110,000 Japanese American citizens in good standing, law-abiding people who were thrown into internment camps simply because their parents were born in the wrong country. That's all they did wrong. They had no right to a lawyer, no right to a fair trial, no right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind.
Now that's crazy. See, we live out here in America and like we take a lot of things for granted. Like there's some people who have no rights at all. Like I don't even want to imagine that right there. That's just crazy.
No right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind. The only right they had, right this way, into the internment camps.
Oh man. Right this way. Come on, sheep and cattle.
Right they had, right this way, into the internment camps. Just when these American citizens needed their rights the most, their government took them away. And rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country is a bill of temporary privileges. And if you read the news even badly, you know that every year the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Is it all similar?
It keep getting shorter and like he is not lying. I mean, you got to pay attention to what's going around in your surroundings, you know? It's not all about sports and partying.
Is it all similar? Yeah. Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible. Personally, when it comes to rights, I think one of two things is true. I think either we have unlimited rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward...
I had to laugh at that because I'm just thinking a little bit further. Like, you either have unlimited rights or you have no rights at all. And it feels like we really don't have any rights because if they can give you something they can take away, it's not yours. You know, so he did drop a gem right there.
Rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward unlimited rights. I feel, for instance, I have the right to do anything I please. But if I do something you don't like, I think you have the right to kill me. So where are you going to find a fairer fucking deal than that? So the next time some asshole says to you, I have a right to my opinion, you say, oh yeah? Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away.
Yo, when I talk about he's like the most common sense human being in the world, like like his logic is ridiculous.
And my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away. Thank you.
Boom, boom. George Carlin he's a master at his art. Gotta give it up to George. George Carlin. Yo, this guy's the truth, man. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend because, hey, I'm trying to grow. I need the world to know. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good time.